Have you ever been shown mercy? Maybe someone forgave you and you knew you sure did not deserve it. There's just something about being shown mercy. It changes how we see others, how we see ourselves, and even how we see God. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 7, Jesus says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy." The Bible makes it clear. Mercy isn't just about what God does for us, it's about what He calls us to do for others. The pattern is this: we receive mercy first, then we are invited to show mercy to others. When God forgives, we are reminded of what we've been given, and that reminds us to be generous with others. Think about the parable of the unforgiving servant in Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 through 35. A servant owes a massive amount of money that he cannot possibly repay. He begs his master to be patient with him and give him time to pay it all back. The master, knowing that there is no possible way the servant could repay him all that he is owed, has compassion for his servant, and he decides to forgive him and cancel the entire debt. The servant is so very grateful and goes on his way, now living debt-free. However, it isn't very long before he finds a fellow servant who owes him a small debt. The first servant demands that the second servant immediately repay him that small debt. When the second servant asks for mercy and time, the first servant proceeds to choke him. I don't think I can show that illustration, so just use your imagination. Anyway, back to the story. And throws him into jail until he can repay the whole thing. Jesus points out the blatant hypocrisy of the first servant. His lack of mercy shows that he had not truly internalized the magnitude of the gift he had just received. This teaches us that receiving mercy is not just about our relief of a heavy burden, although that is something we should be extremely grateful for, but it's also a loud call to action on our part. The mercy that God gives us is meant to flow through to others. So how do we live this out today? Well, maybe start out by forgiving someone who hurt you. I know it can be difficult, but think about what God has forgiven you. As I've mentioned in previous videos, we are all guilty before God. We have no right to not forgive when He's willing to forgive us. Something as simple as offering a kind word to someone who has hurt you is a small act of mercy and grace that can only come from someone who understands what God has done for them. Every act of mercy reflects what God has done for us. And here's the beautiful part. The more we allow God's kind mercy and grace to flow from us, the more we understand the depth of what God has really done for us. This will humble us. His beautiful, undeserved gift of grace can and will transform our lives completely. Mercy opens the door. Grace takes us through it. Mercy shows us what we've been given. Grace shows us what we could never earn. God's mercy calls us to extend mercy, and His grace calls us to live differently because we are loved beyond measure. Remembering this will help keep us focused on God's wonderful, beautiful mercy toward us, and perhaps it will help us to want to show that same kind of mercy to others. If this message has encouraged you today, please share it with someone who would be encouraged by it as well. And please make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss the next video on God's amazing grace. Remember, mercy received is mercy given. Let it flow through you. Thank you so much, and God bless you.